590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9. Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company that'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Good morning. Your forecast for today is going to be sunny with highs around 50 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 25. Tomorrow, clouds move in, highs around 50, overnight lows around 30. And then for Thursday, got a chance of some showers, highs around 50, overnight lows around 35 degrees. Then sunshine's back on Friday, highs around 55, overnight lows around freezing. Saturday, chance of more rain, highs around 40, overnight lows around 30. Then sunny for Sunday, highs around 50. You're listening to 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Welcome to All Things Rutherford. Here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Now here's your host, Todd and Tracy.
Why are you up so early?
Why are you up so early?
Early bird gets the worm.
And also,
going to be a terrific show.
Tuesday morning show.
It's a terrific Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's terrific.
What's terrific?
My favorite show.
My favorite show. Terrific. That's just terrific. This is just terrific.
Terrific Tuesday.
Let's get ready.
I think it was Tuesday anyway. I've lost count.
I don't know. We'll see how today goes. If it's going to be a Monday, we'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, I don't know. The computer says it's Tuesday, so it also says it's 2024.
Happy New Year.
So we got to get used to not saying 2023.
We've got a brand new year. Happy New Year. Welcome back.
That's right. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Todd and Tracy Morning Show, the best morning show in all of Western North Carolina. You're listening to it right here at WCAB. I know. We're not country. I know. Look.
You want me to sing a country song?
Let me tell you how it's going to go.
What?
When you turn the radio on and we're playing country, that's when we're going to go country.
That's it. It's that simple.
The equipment did not want to work and function, and that's all I'm going to say.
I'm just going to have to learn how to yodel, and you're going to have to come in with a harmonica, and we're just going to have to start singing country songs.
I got baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low.
There you go.
Turn them back on. I just stubbed my toe.
Please don't. Who sings that?
Josh Turner.
Please let him sing it.
I know. Well, I would.
She said, "Hello, country bumpkin. How's the frost out on the pumpkin?"
I mean, that's all I got.
Oh, I'm ready to go country. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, the Spaninator didn't work with the discombobulator, and that in effect caused the transmodule activator to disconnect. So if the transmodule activator disconnects, we're done.
I was going to say that very same thing, Todd.
Oh, yeah,
you just saved me from having to go through all that. Thank you.
Great and Loveless checking in this morning on the YouTube. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Also,
Good
Chad
morning.
Medford checking in this morning. Good morning, folks. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
27 degrees outside on this first Tuesday of the new year. It is officially 2024 as of yesterday morning. Did you stay up and watch the ball drop?
I did. And I had two little girls with me. I sure did. I cannot believe they set up. We sat right there and counted down, and then we set up till 1 o'clock in the morning. And then they fell asleep and got up at 10 o'clock. Saying all that, Todd, I'm going to say, the Tracy's Tidbits, I'm going to start them right now with Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got out of the bed the first day of the new year and stepped on a mirror and broke it.
Oh, 7 years bad luck.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, Todd. We were going to try to talk about this and maybe get our reporters involved or whoever. What are some of the superstitions? Yeah, I saw that. Of course, I'm not superstitious, but
here's an interesting quandary.
Yeah.
I worked over at Glassical Heirlooms years ago.
Yeah, I remember that place.
I broke mirrors every day.
Really?
Making stained glass angels. Huh. So I've got enough built up that I'm never going to have any good luck. I'm sure that compounded.
Oh.
So, I can.
What are some other superstitions you can think of? Let's see.
People won't walk under ladders.
Yeah, that's right. And if a black cat crosses your path.
I rode with a guy when I worked for the town of Forest City. I rode with a guy who had a permanent X on his window.
Really?
Every time a black cat, he would exit. And I guess the buildup from his finger, dirt, and there was always an X on the window. I kid you not.
Oh, my gosh.
I kid you not. He would exit out, whoop, whoop, wouldn't go across it until he did the X on the window. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Crazy superstitions. You can't eat, you can't wear white after Labor Day.
Well, yeah, I've always heard that too. Is that a superstition?
Oh, I don't know.
Or what does it do?
I don't know.
I think that was just like a fashion thing. If you wear white, it's because it's summer, and then you're crossing over from summer to. I don't know if that.
What
I think
is
that's
it about
a fashion.
throwing your salt over your
Throwing the
shoulder?
salt. I don't know. But see, that's what we've got to get these people involved here and tell us what that means. I don't know what it means.
I don't know what these mean. We're just going to have to Google super strange superstitions.
Oh, I bet we've got a whole lot of people. There's a phone call right now that's going to tell us what it is.
Friday the 13th, that's got some kind of
Friday
crazy superstition to it. But yeah, some of the superstitions, it's just so far fetched. You're just like, really, So anyway, 7 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, it is January the 2nd. And it is 2024. We are still broadcasting from the 82nd floor of the Whiteside Tower Complex, right here overlooking beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. And we appreciate you coming along with us into the new year. We're going to go ahead and start with our Tuesday morning call-around report. And here is Chronicles of the Old West with Dakota Livesay.
In 1821, Moses Austin got permission from the Spanish government to settle 300 Anglo-Americans in Texas. Moses died before he could gather the families, so the mantle passed on to his son, Stephen, and he accepted it with determination. By now, the Mexican government had gained its independence from the Spanish, and Mexico agreed to the Spanish agreement. Austin worked tirelessly at administering the new settlement. He was loyal to Mexico and believed that the Anglo settlement could be successful within the Mexican Commonwealth. By 1882, there were 8,000 Anglo settlers. With rumors of the U.S. wanting to annex Texas, the Mexican government started making it difficult on the Anglos. In 1883, the Texas Anglos decided they wanted to start their own country. So they wrote up a constitution. Stephen Austin continued to support the status quo, but the Anglos directed Stephen to present their constitution to the Mexican government. Conceding to the people, Stephen met with President Santa Anna. On January 3, 1834, an angry Santa Anna put Stephen Austin in jail. Although released 6 months later, when he returned to the Anglo settlement, he found them on the brink of rebellion. Reluctantly, Stephen Austin now realized war was inevitable. And this man, who had tried to persuade the Mexican government to accept the Anglos and the Anglos to accept the Mexican government, became the head of the Texan rebellion forces. And he eventually led them to victory over the Mexican government. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
9 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. It is the 2024, brand new year. We're going to go to the Sheriff's Department. They say the first person you talk to on New Year's is the person you'll talk to the rest of the year.
Oh, well, good.
Sergeant King was with us this morning, so he's got to do the report from now on.
He sure does.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing this morning?
Even when you're
Doing
off, you're going
good.
to have to do the report. So I need your cell phone. And I'll call you at home, wake you up, in the morning. when
Yeah,
you're
he's like,
sleeping.
yeah, you keep on talking, Todd.
Sergeant King's like, how's the tag on your car?
Yeah.
Is your tire pressure okay? Don't you have a citation, sir?
Oh.
Sergeant King, what do you have for us this morning?
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office responded to 178 calls for service. There were 10 arrests processed in the jail, and the jail currently has 163 people incarcerated. On our incident reports, Steve McIntyre reported a breaking and entering and a larceny that occurred on Maryland Drive in Forest City. And Oak Grove Retirement Home on Old US 221 North in Rutherford reported a breaking and entering this morning. That's all for the incident reports. On our arrest reports, Danielle Arwood from WV Thompson Road in Rutherford was served with a warrant for assault on a child under 12, received a written promise to appear in court, and a Carmen Guerin from Porsford Road in Rutherford was arrested and charged with assault on a government official, resist, obstruct, delay a public officer, and assault by pointing a gun, and no bond listed at this time on that. And that's all we have for today.
Sergeant King, you mentioned W.V. Thompson Road. There's also a road called Necktie Thompson Road.
There he is.
Did you know that, in fact, that was the same person?
Necktie.
Yep.
Huh?
Necktie Thompson Road and W.V. Thompson. They called him because he always wore a necktie.
Really?
Yeah, named for the same guy, two different
How
roads.
neat is that?
Really, I've never heard that.
Yep.
They're pretty good distance apart from one another.
Yeah, that's what's kind of weird about it. Yeah, I was reading that on Facebook over the weekend that people were talking about that Necktie Thompson Road. Interesting. Sergeant
Yeah,
King,
it's over close to East High School.
that's right. Yep. Sergeant King, have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Most of all, be safe.
All right, thanks. Y'all have a good
Take
one.
care, you too.
Sergeant King with that report from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. We're moving over to the 911 Communications Center next.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
13 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, going over to the 911 Communications Center with us is Tina. Tina, good morning.
Good morning.
What do you have for us this morning?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County 911 Communications has processed 399 calls, 911 calls, and administrative calls, which consisted of 61 for EMS, 178 for the Sheriff's Office, 67 for Forest City, 22 for Rutherford, 1 for Lake Lure, and 51 for Spindale. Under fire calls, we had Forest City respond to a motor vehicle accident. We had Hudlow respond to a structure fire with Union Mills, Spindale, and Rutherford assisting. And we had SDO respond to a fire investigation and a motor vehicle accident. And that's what we've had.
Tina, thanks so much for the report. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Tina, with that report from the 911 Communications Center, let us know what's happening over in the world of 911 Communications. Sly checking in with us this morning. Sly, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Also, Mr. X, Jesse James himself. I woke up in jail again. Will y'all come get me out, please? Nope.
Oh, no.
That's yours. You have to sleep in it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm almost afraid to open this Pandora's box.
What's that?
When I talk to Creighton and I ask him about superstitions.
Oh, I've got one too when he gets on here that we're going to find out.
Because
I just got a phone
Creighton,
call.
sometimes you have to be careful with Creighton.
Yeah, how's that?
I love Creighton to death. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's my buddy. He's my pal.
Yeah.
But sometimes you will ask Creighton the simplest of questions, and you will get way more of an answer than you want.
Well, that's what we want. We want that.
And
we want to be educated.
How many times have I called Creighton? Oh, it's Creighton Levels STO Fire District, by the way. I've called Creighton. I was like, okay, phone a friend, Bible question, numerous times. But hey, man, tell me about this right here. So yeah, superstitions.
Yeah.
As I was reading through some of them on the internet, here's one that I'd forgot. You have to leave the house through the same door you entered in.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Heard that one.
That's what.
And we just had one of our listeners call in.
Mama would have a stroke if the baby got their hair cut before their first birthday.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the baby has hair, mine were always bald. I wouldn't dare cut it because they didn't have none to cut. Well, what little bit they had, you wanted it to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
We just had a listener call in and said that, do you know anything about sweeping out the old year? And also, too, something about he didn't know about don't paint the walls. He didn't know anything about that. Said he had just heard that, but didn't know maybe somebody would down through the line here.
That's why I saved that question for Mr. Lovelace.
Exactly. You know we love you, Creighton.
Indeed.
We pick his brain every now and then.
Yeah, we do.
What's some? Here's one that I never understood, and I've heard this. When if you get a sudden chill or shiver for no reason, that means someone is walking on your grave.
Oh.
How are they walking on your grave
if you're not dead?
How are you walking on your grave if you're not dead?
That's right.
What about if your ears burn? Somebody's talking about you.
And if your if your hands itch, you had getting money. Let's see, what is it when somebody's coming to see your nose itches or I don't know.
And when your palm itches, you're getting money.
Yeah, that's right. When your palm itches, you.
I wish my palm itched 24 hours a day.
But what if it itched and no money ever came in?
Well,
that's right.
We could disprove that.
Well, somebody that had mentioned about the painting thing.
Yes, what is that all about?
From what I've heard and found out is if you paint over a color instead of stripping it, they say that you're sealing in the energy of the previous owner, and they say it would not be good if the previous owner had bad luck or died inside of the house. And another thought is that if you paint the house a different color, you might be seen as negating the good sense or good judgment or reputation of the previous owner. So
what do you do?
I guess you
just knock the house down and start over.
Don't ever read it.
Maybe so, or just strip off the old color and really research that previous owner, I guess.
Here's a good one. Always buy a new broom when you move so you don't bring old dirt into a new house.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard
That's
that.
interesting. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
That is interesting.
Also, hold your breath when passing a graveyard so a spirit can't jump in you.
Okay.
That's a good
one.
Can one go up your nostrils?
That's a good one.
Or through your ears?
Might be.
Oh, what about the coins heads up?
Oh,
You never pick one that's tails up.
That's right. You never pick one that's tails up.
Right.
If someone sweeps under your feet when you're sitting down, you'll never get married.
Yeah.
That's false.
Well, talking about superstitions, 1 in 4 Americans are actually superstitious.
Yeah.
And one of the big ones is triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 13th, yep.
The next Friday the 13th we have is September 13th, and then we got another one this year, which will be December 13th, 2 days before my birthday.
Well, that's a long way off to wait on the 13th.
Well, I don't know. You'll blink
That's
3
right.
minutes and here we'll go.
As I read these, I'm reminded of how I've heard them. Don't ever get bit by a snapping turtle. It won't let go until it thunders and lightning.
Well, my grandpa used to tell us we had they had a creek. Don't y'all be down there in that creek. What did you call them? A crawdad will get a hold of your toe and let go to it. I was scared to death to get in that thing.
But anyway.
It's truly amazing.
Yes.
Drayden, what you got for us this morning?
Well, guys, it is the second day of the year. We got 363 days left in this year. And today is National Buffet Day. So I guess we could go to Ryan's if we could find one, or Golden Corral back down. I know they got one down in Shelby. We need us another good buffet place around here. Well, I guess you got Chinese, too. Today is also National Science Fiction Day. I might have to crack out one of my favorites, War of the Worlds. I love reading that book. Also down at SDO, Chief Tyler Bailey, his last day was December 31st at SDO, and he has moved on, and we wish him the best. I appreciate Chief Bailey's help in getting the reports, and now Matt Hopper is the chief down at SDO. And we wish him the best coming on and advancing up from the assistant fire chief. So we appreciate his continued service to our community. And Chief Harper said that SDO yesterday responded to a woods fire, a motor vehicle accident, and they had a fire investigation. Also today, we want to be kind to Eric Ledford. Happy birthday, Mr. Ledford. Also, no events today to report or coming up that we know of, but if y'all have birthdays, anniversaries, or events, just email them to me at sdoevent@gmail.com, or I'm the only Creighton Loveless on Facebook. You can send me a message, post it on my wall, drop me a message either way. The weather in the fire district today will be a high of 51, sunny, and then tonight partly cloudy with a low of 25. Sunrise is coming up in just a few at 7:36, and sunset will be at 5:25. The moon is in the waning gibbous phase right now, and the signs today, they're in the rains, and that's a flowering sign, so green thumbs, no planting of vegetables. And the moon is still in the dark phase. And that's about all I got to report, y'all, on this second day of the year.
Great. We appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right. Y'all have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Creighton Loveless Select Report from the SDO Fire District. We're going to move over to Chris Melton up in Chimney Rock. We'll do that after this.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right.
Well, folks, let me tell you about North Washington Street Baking Company. They're located, guess where? North Washington Street. Brand new business located on North Washington Street in Rutherfordton. They specialize in cupcakes, all flavors, brownie bars, cookies, pies, cake by the slice, or order a whole cake, scones in many different flavors. You can enjoy the almond and chocolate croissants, also lemon, blueberry, fresh strawberry, cranberry pecan, or the delicious sweet potato muffin or sweetbread. If you have an event coming up and you need a sweet treat, call on North Washington Street Baking Company. They offer platters and combination trays. From a few to a crowd, they can accommodate. Open Monday through Friday, 8 until 4, Saturday, 8 until 1, closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. You can also order online at nwsbakingco.com. Melissa Carey is the baker with 30 years experience, and I remember she was the exceptional baker from the cafe at the mall. So you know it's going to be good. Stop in today, 838 North Washington Street in Rutherfordton, right near Tony's Produce, or call them at 828-827-3747. And trust me, we had some of this last week. It's a sweet experience. Chris Melton with us from the Chimney Rock Fire District. I guess we could say he's a sweet experience too, ain't he?
You are. He's sweet. He is. He likes to go on cruises. And you know something? As a matter of fact, my brother and his wife and all their family are on a cruise right now. They're boarding a ship today. They're going to the Bahamas.
Be careful. Don't tell them where. Chris might run and join them.
I'm ready.
Chris, what do you got for us this morning, sir?
We had a pretty good weekend. Lake Lure responded to Polk County for a possible structure fire. Turned out to be a chimney fire. And then both Chimney Rock, Bills Creek, and Lake Lure responded to a medical call, or medical calls throughout the weekend. And that was it on the call report. No events to report either, so.
All right, Chris, we appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
All right. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Chris Melton with that report from the Chimney Rock Fire District. We're going to check in with DeVern Upton over in Boston next.
Sis Ford, located on Oak Street in Forest City, is now Legendary Ford. Still locally owned and still offering the same local hometown service as always. The new family at Legendary Ford is working hard to prove to you that they want your business. So stop by today and see the large selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks on the lot, and let the guys at Legendary Ford help you choose the perfect vehicle that best fits you and your family. Visit them at 565 Oak Street in Forest City, or visit the website at www.legendaryford.com, or call them at 245-1626.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Yeah, I do. I'll give it to you.
26 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. And Jonna Prescott checking in on the YouTube. Good morning, Jonna.
Good morning.
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 DeVern Upton with us from the Ballstick Fire District. Good morning, DeVern.
Good morning. Hope y'all are doing well on this New Year's.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Hope you are.
Good. We have a temperature of 26 degrees here in Boston. Very cold. Fire department assisted on a structure fire. Food boxes will be given out at Chase Ministry tomorrow from 9 to 10:30. They're on Chase Highway. If you're in need of one, go by and pick up one. Don't forget to stop in here at the drop-in here on Boston Sunshine Highway and check their deli and their meat department out, and then go down to Whistle Stop Bakery and get your bakery items, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day today.
DeVern, I will get that address for you, and I was going to mention to everyone out there, too. DeVern was just asking about Jim, and Jim is doing fine. He's doing really good. I had texted him yesterday, as a matter of fact, asking him how he was doing. He said he's doing good, just they had given him a lot of medicine to take, and they think they've got him on a certain diet, but he's doing really good, so I just wanted to pass that along.
Let's see if we can catch up with Jim a little later in the week.
Yep.
See,
yeah.
Let him rest. Let him get back going.
Give him a call toward the end of the week and see if he'd like to.
Maybe on Friday be a good chance to call and catch up with Jim, see what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I know everybody'd love to hear from him.
That's right.
We would too.
All right, DeVern, we appreciate it.
Just text me his address.
I will. I sure will.
DeVern, we appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye. DeVern Upton with that report from the Ballstick Fire District. Going to move over to Mount Vernon and talk with Robbie Samuel next.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
You couldn't sleep last night, could you?
Y'all got to learn when to hush.
I know it. I'll
28
never
minutes
learn when
after
to
7
hush.
o'clock. Here's another one that I find it fascinating, a superstition. People used to believe that spirits could not cross over water.
Mm-hmm.
So they would paint their porch ceilings and doors a special shade of blue called haint blue to ward off evil spirits.
That's interesting. Well, I got one here, and I'll say one of our listeners texted me, and he said that his mom, her mom, would never let the graveyard dirt enter into her house. That include flowers that had been in the graveyard. She said some people bring plastic wreaths and pottery and such things to use the next year. That's fine, but just don't bring them into the house. What have you got, Robbie?
I don't really have any.
Robbie says never talk about superstitions on the radio, talking about superstitions.
I've heard a lot of the ones y'all talked about this morning, like going in and out the same door. If you walk out and you forget something, you're supposed to, what is it, throw salt over your shoulder?
Is that, okay, that's where we're going to want it about the salt. We didn't know where that came in at.
Ain't there something about never shaking a man's hand while you're sitting down?
I don't know.
I don't do that anyway. That's out of respect.
That might just be common courtesy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I like to, especially, if they approach. But like you said, there's so many. I don't know. I always think it's funny, especially whenever you do one, and somebody believes in it, and they're like, "Oh,
I know.
Oh, you were supposed to do that."
Yeah.
You're
That's
supposed
just
to
like
turn
the penny that I picked up the other day. That man looked at me and like, she just came out of
No,
Looney
it was
Bin.
because you were talking to yourself about the penny. That's what it was. That,
No, I was
that had
talking to
nothing
him.
to do with.
He's the one that opened the door and started talking to me.
It's kind of like Creighton, when you say a simple question and you get way more of an answer than you. He wanted way more. You gave him way more of a conversation than he wanted.
I guess.
That's what it was.
Yeah, well, Tim Lovelace. I know a lot of folks know Tim.
Yeah.
He's voluntarily retired from the Ralston Fire Department. But anyway, if he gave you a pocket knife as a gift, he'd always put a penny in it.
Really?
Because it was supposed to be like, our friendship will never be cut or something like that. I can't remember how it was, but if he give you a pocket knife, that's what he'd give you a penny with it. But we'd always mess around with him because he'd have him pocket knives in his bedroom at work. And we'd go in there and we'd use the ones that he'd always want to wear or carry every day or his shift.
Yeah.
We'd go in there and open the knife and he wouldn't touch it.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't have
Really?
anything to do with that knife.
Don't
Wait a
pick
minute
up an
now.
open knife.
Why?
Don't pick up an open knife.
Yeah, you just didn't.
What would
if
it
you opened
do?
it, you closed it. It was bad luck.
Oh.
Yep, it was bad luck. You didn't close the knife that somebody else opened. You just didn't do that. If he opened it, he was supposed to close it. But,
I had never heard of that one.
yep.
It's funny how
Little
some
things
people
like
are attached to those superstitions
Yeah.
like that.
I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I've just never been superstitious at all. I just don't believe in it.
I don't need it.
I just don't.
I don't.
I mean, some people really do. I mean, they get upset.
Oh, yeah. Yes, for sure.
I
Don't
can't
walk
believe
on
you
the
didn't
ladder.
spin around 3 times and touch your nose.
I did. You just wasn't watching.
That's how fast I spun.
Yeah, that's right.
Want to say it again?
Yeah.
Robbie, what you got for us this morning from Mount Vernon?
Well, from Mount Vernon here, Hudlow and Rutherford responded to a possible structure fire with Union Mills yesterday, and luckily it wasn't no structure fire. It was a grass fire that got out of hand, but I don't think it wasn't a whole lot to it, and so Rutherford got canceled, and Hudlow just handled everything and canceled everybody else. And also they had another structure fire a little bit later on last night. Hudlow did, and they was assisted by Spindale and Bostic and Cherry Mountain, and I think Union Mills with that one, but it wasn't no structure fire as well. So all was well on that, and everybody was just busy with various medical calls, and so hopefully the new year is started off kind of busy, but hopefully it don't mean it's going to be that way for the whole year. And all the Rutherford, the town offices obviously should be back up and running, everybody today, so everybody got through their holidays and getting back at it again. So hopefully it's going to be a good day for everybody.
Well, it's about time they got back to work. They've sat around long enough.
That's right. You know how them government employees are.
I know
Take them all.
That's it.
But see, speaking of that, the town council meeting will be this Wednesday too. So if anybody's interested in going to the Ralston Town Council meeting, that'll be at 5:30 Wednesday, January the 3rd. But that's all the business I've got right now. I guess we'll go to work today, and then we'll get our ears full and see what happens.
All right, Robbie, we appreciate it. Hope you have a good Tuesday, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Hey, it sounds good, and y'all do as well. Take care.
All right, take care.
Robbie Samuel with that report from the Mount Vernon Fire District. Going to check in with Sue Price Sunshine, Cherry Mountain, after this.
It's a family tradition, caring for your family at a time of sorrow and need. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, owned and operated by the Crow family, has been a part of our community for over 65 years. They've been recognized for the highest level of professional service. Crow's pinpoints every service detail to ensure your family has the best service possible. Any questions, call the staff at Crow's 286-2304. They'll be happy to speak with you about pre-funeral needs as well. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, 118 College Avenue, Rutherford, or visit them at www.crowmortuary.com.
7:34 on this Tuesday morning, going over to Sue Price in the Sunshine Cherry Mountain Fire District. Sue, good morning.
Good morning.
How's everything going over that way, Sue?
Well, as far as I know, everything's going okay. just a quiet time, but we're into a new year now, so we're looking forward to a better year, maybe.
You know, when
Yes,
people say
I
20
know.
years ago, I think 1980.
I know.
20 years ago was just 2000.
And that's hard to believe, ain't it? It's hard to believe we're already this deep into 2000.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Sue, what do you got for us this morning?
Well, I don't have any calls from the fire department. I think maybe they assisted on a call, but nothing much that I know of. And I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar or my personal calendar. And I don't have Fairviews yet, so nobody that I know of, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And it looks like they're going to have a pretty day for it. Sun's starting to peek over the little trees up there, so maybe it's going to be a nice day. And on this second day of New Year, we look forward to having a good year. And we're both doing better and tested positive, so we've still got COVID in the house.
Oh, bless your heart. Oh,
It's been a time, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, you will. There's one thing about it. Spring is on the way.
That's right. But anyway, I don't have a lot to report, but everybody will have a good day today and a happy New Year. And same to y'all.
So you do the same.
Thank
we'll
you,
talk to you
Sue.
again tomorrow.
Hope y'all get well soon.
All right, thanks.
Thanks,
All
Bill.
right. Bye-bye.
Sue Price with that report from the Sunshine Cherry Mountain Fire District. We're going to try check in with Tina White up in the Shingle Hollow Fire District after this.
Well, it's a brand new year, so let the drop-in help you start your new year off with their brand new deals. Start with a delicious breakfast chicken biscuit or a steak biscuit, 2 for $6.49. Mix and match. Or enjoy a lunch meal with a popular chicken strip meal. Get 3 strips, 6 wedges, and a roll, dipping sauce, only $7.29. Get the new year started with 6 packs of Coke products, 2 for $6. And let the drop-in help you get that 2024 diet started with fresh salads, choose large or small. Get all this and more. Friendly staff, clean stores, and superb service, always at the drop-in. So come on, drop in.
No, Tina White's still under the weather.
Yes,
so
she is. Has no voice.
She sounded pretty rough there.
Yeah, she sounds like she don't
Tina,
feel
we
well.
appreciate you. We love you. We're going to be praying for you. We'll
Yeah.
catch up with you again tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Get better, most of all.
Everybody's taking their turn with all this mess going on.
It seems like
Sure.
it's
And there's so many people that are having this coughing situation where I don't know if I guess it is the RSV.
Could be RSV, and I know the flu's going around,
Yep.
COVID's going around.
Bronchitis.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and everybody's getting pneumonia from the bronchitis. So
You ever hear pneumonia?
pneumonia,
You ever
yeah.
heard people pronounce it like that?
Yep,
Anyway,
I sure have.
we'll go to Brenda Kelly, Union Mills, after this.
When my business got bigger, many things changed. My lunches got shorter, more meetings arranged. My budget got bigger, but all that it meant was I cared even more about how it was spent. When I spend it on radio, I see where it goes. My investment comes back, and my business just grows. Radio helps all businesses to grow. Find out how at radioheardhere.com.
Brought to you by this radio station to remind you that radio is heard here. Radio is heard everywhere.
Where our listeners patronize our advertisers. Call our sales department today at 287-3356.
He'd always call me Sugar Smacks or
Sugar Smacks, Fruit Loops.
We went through all the cereal. Fruit Loop.
I would call you Fruit Loop.
Fruit Loop. Oh, Alabama lost last night.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, gosh.
My grandson and my daughter will be very upset.
Yeah, they sure did. And it wasn't by a lot. I can't remember. It was like 20 to, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But
Auburn, wasn't it?
no, it was Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Michigan,
Yeah.
They had their bands in the Rose Bowl parade.
Yep,
yesterday.
they sure did.
Yeah. That was a pretty parade.
It always is, ain't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
I just can't imagine all them flowers.
I know.
Golly,
and
really.
how long it takes to fix all that stuff.
I know it.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That's not a simple parade, is it?
No, but it's always pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda, what you got for us this morning?
Well, let's see. Today's the second day of the year, and I've got 24 degrees on the front porch. It's very cold. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries. I don't know of anything going on. I hadn't had any calls or nothing, so I guess everything's okay. But did y'all eat y'all talking about superstitions and things. Did you have your collard greens and black-eyed peas and cornbread and all that?
Yeah. I did. I absolutely did.
I did too. I cooked them. And my daughter and son come up. They ate with us and everything. So I should have, I don't know if I'll have plenty of money, but maybe I won't be flat broke.
Maybe it'll keep you out of the flat brokenness.
There you go. But I guess you better move on down to Ellenborough and check on Luther Sweet thing.
All right, we'll do it, Brenda.
Alrighty.
Thanks.
Take care, Brenda.
Bye-bye.
Catch you later.
Brenda Kelly with that report from Union Mills Fire District. We are going to check in with Luther Gillikin down in Ellenborough after this.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Luther Gillikin with us this morning. Luther, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great, enjoying life.
Yeah.
One of my son's friends is Luther's grandson, Dawson.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he came over the other day and he was asking me about the 1911. I was like, you need to talk to Luther about that 1911.
Yeah.
He could probably take that thing and put it back together in the dark.
That's right.
Yep.
I said, you need to go talk to your granddaddy about that. I said, because I'm sure him as a paratrooper, that was their sidearm. And they had to know that thing inside and out. So.
You will.
That's right. Luther, what you got for us this morning?
Not a whole lot going on down this morning. It's quiet this morning. Yesterday was quiet. Everything going peaceful down here. Just everybody's trying to get their gas. They head on out. Get another week started. Had a long weekend. Well, some of them had the whole week off. But things are quiet now. Nothing else going on down here. You two have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Luther, we'll see you then. Thanks.
Thank you, Luther. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Luther Gillikin with that report from the Ellenborough Fire District. That's going to wrap up our call-around report for this Tuesday morning. Folks, let me tell you about Granny Bees. They are our sponsor for the morning birthday and the birthday winter. You can enjoy a fresh, delicious orange twist, a Long John, a cream-filled donut, original glazed donut, or for lunch, stop in and order a fresh salad or a delicious Granny Bees sub sandwich. Granny Bees does beautiful cakes for showers, weddings, birthdays, or any occasion you need a cake. Or if you'd rather have those delicious petit-fours, you can get those instead. Granny Bees hours are Tuesday through Friday, 9 until 7, Saturday, 9 until 6. Call them at 286-9012, located at 322 West Main Street in Spindale. If you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary today, give me a call, 287-3356. We'll have a birthday or an anniversary party in your honor and give the winner a box of those petit-fours, compliments of Granny Bees. Birthdays and anniversaries, call me now.
In a weekly newsletter to the business community, Rick Warren told the story about a young man who sought advice from Socrates on public speaking. After they were introduced, the young man would not stop talking. He went on nonstop. Finally, Socrates put his hand over the young man's mouth and said, "I'm going to have to charge you double fee for my training." The young man was startled and questioned, "Why would you do that?" Socrates responded, "Because to make you a good leader, I will have to teach you two sciences. First, you must learn the science of holding your tongue, and then you can learn the science of using it correctly." Listening is one of the first steps in being a good leader. Listening helps us learn something about the person with whom we are speaking, assess the situation, and learn more about the subject. However, too often we do just the opposite of what we should do. Isn't it interesting that God gave us 2 ears but only 1 tongue? The Apostle James says, "Dear friends, lead with your ears and follow up with your tongue." Did you hear that? Lead with your ears. Giving someone your undivided attention to hear what they want to say is probably one of the best ways to diffuse a problem. By listening to their side, you cause them to at least feel valued and respected, even if you do not agree with their position. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
With gas and utility prices.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Let me try that again. Let me try that again. Birthday. Yeah, there we are. Birthdays today include Jamie Short, 30 years old, works over at Harris Septic Service, and Teresa Morgan celebrating a birthday today as well. We'll pick from those and pick a winner, and they will win a free box of those delicious petitfours from Granny B's. Birthdays and events throughout history. On this day in 1936, Roger Miller was born. Remember him? King of the Road.
Yes, I do.
Trailers for sale. He died in 1992, Roger Miller. 1939, Jim Baker. That was an interesting name.
Oh, yes, it was.
PTL Ministries back in the day.
That was an interesting situation.
Yes, it was. That was interesting.
To say the least.
1947, Jack Hanna. He was the
Hanna-Barbera.
handler. No, the animal handler. Kind of the Steve Irwin type guy.
Oh, yeah,
from
was
the
that
New York Zoo, I believe it is.
Oh, okay.
1967, Tia Carrera was born. She's an actress. 1968, Cuba Gooding Jr. was also born. On this day in 1906, boy, the world changed on this day. Willis Carrier. You know what he patented? The air conditioner.
Oh, Lordy.
Mr.
Yes,
Carrier.
it did. Thank you, Mr. Carey.
That's right. 1944, the first use of helicopters during warfare. And in 1974, Richard Nixon imposed a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, which is still being broken to this day. National Cream Puff Day, National Buffet Day, and also National Science Fiction Day. So now you are up to date on this day in history. The winners of our petitfours this morning, Jamie Short, 30 years old, works over in Harris Septic Service, so appreciate you listening and enjoy those petitfours compliments of WCAB and Granny B's. We're going to see if we can get a hold of Brother Rick Hauser this morning with James.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Monday.
This is Tuesday. Brother Rick with
Yes.
Jay's.
Your call has been forwarded.
Not going to be able to get a hold of him this morning. But anyway, Jay's Discount Grocery, that's the place to be if you want to save some money. I do know that.
Absolutely.
You can go there and save
every day of the year
of money. You'll never know what he's got in stock, and if you're going to get it, you better get it while you see it.
From the beginning of the year to the end, he's got sales.
More than likely,
not sales, just low prices every day.
Let's hear about Jay's Discount Grocery, shall we?
With gas and utility prices skyrocketing, you need to save money wherever you can. Jay's Discount Grocery can help you do just that. Jay's Grocery has a fresh meat market and a produce aisle like no other. Jay's carries all household needs, including dog and cat food, cups, paper plates, drinks, famous brand names arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. Find out for yourself. Jay's is open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. Jay's Discount Grocery, 671 Oak Street in Forest City. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
There you go, Jay's Discount Grocery over on Oak Street in Forest City. Go there and see what all the fuss is all about over at Jay's. Going back to some of our superstitions, what about this? Don't let go of someone's hand to walk around a pole.
Huh? A pole?
Yeah, a pole, like a telephone pole.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
To avoid the misfortune of something coming between you, both of you should say, bread and butter as you let go. Just as you cannot easily remove butter from bread once it's spread, the phrase purportedly keeps your souls intertwined despite any hurdles that might arise.
Wow.
So there you go. Don't wash your clothes or clean your house on New Year's Day. Washing laundry on New Year's Day signifies that a family member will be washed away.
Oh.
While cleaning your house means that you're sweeping away all of your luck for the coming year. So just leave the confetti on the floor one more day.
I hear you. Goodness.
Yeah. And also carefully consider what you eat on New Year's Day. Of course, the collard greens and the black eyed peas. Don't put your purse on the floor.
Yeah. Now, I've always heard that because don't put your purse on the floor because there's more germs. I've heard there's more germs on the bottom of a woman's pocketbook than there is in a bathroom floor.
like I says, who wants the bottom of their bag to pick up dirt and grime of unknown origins?
There you go.
But it's also a symbol of financial wealth. Your purse or wallet should always be kept at waist level or above, as putting your bag on the floor signifies a disrespect for money matters.
Oh, my. Well, if you ain't got none, it don't matter.
That's right. Never eat both ends of a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Never eat the heel.
Huh.
You ever call it the heel?
Yes.
The heels of the bread tend to keep the middle of the bread from drying out too quickly as they offer a natural end cap. So whether you believe in the superstition and its effect on the fate of your finances, you might want to come leave those bread loaves alone.
These days, bread's too high to...
I start to not eat a little bit of that.
You have to eat the crumbs now.
Lick it off the bag if there's any... Anyway, yeah, that's some more. Goes into the Haint Blue.
And these things, they've been around for hundreds of years.
Oh, absolutely.
They go back to the, beginning of time, I guess.
Yeah, mirrors have got a lot of mirrors for porch decoration. Is something primarily found in the South. It's historically connected to our desire to protect ourselves from evil spirits. They say that the devil will get distracted. He's so vain, he'll get distracted looking at his own beauty that he'll forget to come into your house until the sun rises. Then he has to go back to wherever.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you heard, I don't know who it is, I don't know what tradition it is, but when somebody dies, they put a drape over a mirror.
Yep, mirrors.
Yeah, yep. I don't know who does that.
I don't know.
But, yeah.
Oh, here's one I actually forgot. What about during a wedding? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
And also, too, during a wedding, I don't know if they do it anymore. They probably don't because a lot of people don't get married in churches anymore. But they used to lock the church door. Yeah, I mean, no, that's a thing. They would lock the church door whenever everybody was in. It was like, I guess, sealing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something good to find. Creighton will let us know about that tomorrow.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That's a new one on me.
Creighton, if you're listening, he may be in school by now, but yeah, that's something we need to find out about. Yeah, they used to lock the door.
Mr. X says not washing clothes on the first can be bad luck if you're out of underwear.
Well, there's some people that don't wash clothes on the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
The 10th, 15th, the 80th, whichever.
It just piles up.
Just wash it, burn it, whichever. It's always
it and burn
easier. So there's a look at some of our superstitions for today. Here's one. Let's see who this is coming in. Nope. That's something unrelated. Something completely different.
Oh,
we forgot to play that this
we
morning.
did. Well,
of course, we did so many of them.
We had something completely different, that's for sure. But I have sure enjoyed. I like talking about things that we're all familiar with. It's fun, and it's fun learning things.
Old superstitions.
Learning new things, too.
The pennies, and I don't know who that is that's keep dinging, but they've got to quit. Got to quit I'm on the radio anyway. Ding! My Facebook going off. It's a prayer line for our church. You post in there about prayer requests.
That's a good thing. That's a good ding.
See, that's a good thing. So we'll have to look at those a little later this morning. So yeah. Well, here we are, the brand new year, 2024. I know, no country music yet, but it's coming due to this and that. And
we
this,
promise
we
wouldn't lie.
We
would never lie to you. It's
no,
coming.
It's actually here, sort of.
And also, too, what I want us to do is, whenever we get moved into our new place, would love to have like a little open house.
Oh yeah, we're actually going to do that.
When we get moved in, let people come in. And
we're going to try to look ahead to what day we're going to officially open the WCAB studios. So hopefully it'll be on Friday.
Oh,
so I can take a day off. And
that would be great.
We'll get the Chamber of Commerce to come over. We'll have a whole little spiel.
Yep.
And we'll just do a whole morning show of us hanging out.
We'll have some cake.
Oh, absolutely.
And something to drink, and we'll just have a little fun party. So we're going to start planning that.
Absolutely.
And you'll blink 3 times and it'll be here.
Yeah, be March 4, you know it. Folks, it's been great here being with you on this Tuesday morning. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Hope your New Year is off to a good start. And we wish you, prosperity throughout the new year. That's what we'll say. Todd and Tracy Morning Show, we're still here live in living color every morning. You can catch us on 100.9. You can catch us on the YouTube. And soon to be, we're going to be back on AM. They got to get that figured out.
Yep.
So, JC said we can have hot dogs for the morning.
Oh. Yeah,
Anyway.
not for the morning.
Folks, as we say here, be good to each other. It'll all come back around to you.
We promise.
Have a great Tuesday and have a great 2024.
NCI News. I'm Mike Riley. A memorial is set up outside of Greensboro Police Department for Sergeant Philip Dale Nix today. The off-duty officer was shot and killed while trying to stop a crime at a Sheetz gas station over the weekend. Greensboro City Council member Zach Matheny was at the memorial.
Just wanted to come say thank you to Sergeant Nix, to his family, and to all the women and men of that service.
First, a major quake. Now, a Japan airplane carrying relief aid to the region was involved in a fiery crash at one of Tokyo's major airports. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer.
It appears that the jet collided with a much smaller plane belonging to Japan's Coast Guard, which was on or near the same runway just as the Airbus was landing. Reports say there were 6 Coast Guard crew members on board that plane. 5 of them have died.
For the first time since the pandemic began in 2020, more people in North Carolina are being treated for the flu than COVID-19. UNC Health's Dr. David Weber told WAVY.
We usually do see boosts after Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, religious ceremonies mixing, and I expect we'll be seeing more cases next week.
The Durham-based Rare Cancer Research Foundation has received a $1 million funding commitment from the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative to advance research in rare cancers. Director of the Strategic Partners, Susan Horrell, told NCN News.
Interesting question. Collectively, they are cancers that have over 400,000 people diagnosed every year. So, in essence, they're not actually rare. The definition is that a rare cancer is a cancer that accounts for less than 40,000 new cases per year.
Top seed Michigan took down 4th seed Alabama in the Rose Bowl semifinal to advance to the college national championship. They'll face Washington in the finals. Coach Nick Saban.
For me as a coach, maybe not for everybody else, it's one of the teams that I'll always remember most and be the most proud of.
You're listening to NCN News.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches, and it worked. To help me with cravings, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life.
Brought to you by NCDHHS and developed by CDC. For more information on quitting tobacco, go to quitlinenc.com.
For more than 35 years, the North Carolina Rural Center has been working to secure a more vibrant future for our state's rural people and places. The latest research breaks down the major forces driving change, such as restricted access to quality health care and insufficient health insurance coverage. Our rural communities face challenges often, contributing to poor health outcomes. The Rural Center continues to advocate for progress on these and other important rural issues. Learn more at ncruralcenter.com. NC Rural Center, building vibrant rural communities.
This morning, a major sign of a new phase in the Israel-Hamas war. The Israeli military confirms it's pulling thousands of troops from the Gaza Strip. Jared Hill has more.
While the year started with a familiar sound of sirens in Israel and the country's Iron Dome system blocking rockets fired by Hamas, the war is taking a new turn. Israeli officials confirm they're pulling several thousand troops from Gaza in the coming weeks. We will allow soldiers to gather strength for the next activity, said the spokesman for the Israeli military, echoing words from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the fighting will continue until Hamas is crushed and more than 100 hostages are freed from Gaza.
Teenage drivers with a learner's permit will now need to have 9 months behind the wheel before getting a license. That's up from 6 months. DMV Commissioner Wayne Goodwin.
Just take these extra 3 months as additional practice time, and that will make your teen driver safer, more comfortable driving, and will, I believe, will be certainly a public safety benefit for everybody.
CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula takes a look at some of the state laws that went into effect at the start of the new year.
Police in Illinois will no longer be able to pull over drivers just for having something hanging from their rearview mirror, like fuzzy dice or air fresheners. In Colorado, styrofoam containers will be banned for takeout food orders. Denver restaurant owner Paula Sandoval supports the idea.
I fully support items that mitigate the impacts on climate change and
protection of the environment.
New laws in Illinois and North Carolina target pornography. Other new laws create restrictions on guns in Colorado, Illinois, and Minnesota. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Corinth Holders High School Marching Band in Johnston County celebrated the start of 2024 by performing in London. Mike Rayleigh, NCI News.
The music's on us on WCAB.
This is Dakota Livesay chronicling another true story taken from the 1800s, a time known to all as the Old West. The subject of today's story was a politician who found himself in the middle of two opposing forces, but in the end, he followed the will of the people and became a legend.
Well, here's the long distance bill.
Right.
And the internet bill.
Uh-huh.
And the wireless bill.
Anything you say, honey.
You're not listening to a word I say. These bills are taking away our extra cash.
Well, Fred told me about Affinity 4.
4 times more money for us to spend, right?
No, long distance internet, wireless service, and Fred says it's inexpensive. He's paying less now than ever before. Plus, Affinity 4 has always supported family values based on causes throughout the country. In fact, a portion of each billing goes to support their mission. Fred says he's not only helping himself with lower cost, but he's helping others too.
Affinity 4 sounds good. Did Fred give you a number?
Yeah, I think I have it. Hold on.
That number is 1-800-684-4815. Save money on your bills with Affinity 4. A new standard for giving. That's 1-800-684-4815.
In 1821, Moses Austin got permission from the Spanish government to settle 300 Anglo-Americans in Texas. Moses died before he could gather the families, so the mantle passed on to his son, Stephen, and he accepted it with determination. By now, the Mexican government had gained its independence from the Spanish, and Mexico agreed to the Spanish agreement. Austin worked tirelessly at administering the new settlement. He was loyal to Mexico and believed that the Anglo settlement could be successful within the Mexican Commonwealth. By 1882, there were 8,000 Anglo settlers. With rumors of the U.S. wanting to annex Texas, the Mexican government started making it difficult on the Anglos. In 1883, the Texas Anglos decided they wanted to start their own country. So they wrote up a constitution. Stephen Austin continued to support the status quo, but the Anglos directed Stephen to present their constitution to the Mexican government. Conceding to the people, Stephen met with President Santa Anna. On January 3, 1834, an angry Santa Anna put Stephen Austin in jail. Although released 6 months later, when he returned to the Anglo settlement, he found them on the brink of rebellion. Reluctantly, Stephen Austin now realized war was inevitable. And this man, who had tried to persuade the Mexican government to accept the Anglos and the Anglos to accept the Mexican government, became the head of the Texan rebellion forces. And he eventually led them to victory over the Mexican government. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Good morning. Your forecast for today is going to be sunny with highs around 50 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 25. Tomorrow, clouds move in, highs around 50, overnight lows around 30. And then for Thursday, got a chance of some showers, highs around 50, overnight lows around 35 degrees. Then sunshine's back on Friday, highs around 55, overnight lows around freezing. Saturday, chance of more rain, highs around 40, overnight lows around 30. Then sunny for Sunday, highs around 50. You're listening to 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Where it's 4 minutes past 8 o'clock, and we're up to 30 degrees. We'll take a look at some of our local news stories. Of course, if you happen to see the Daily Courier, yes, we were supposed to go country effective midnight, but some issues Computers are not as dependable as we think they are. We're living too high, but we are looking forward to going to country music. It'll probably be maybe Sunday, Saturday, maybe we'll be able to do that. Now, of course, if you did read the article, I'm not going to do it verbatim, but I will give you an idea if you didn't see the paper. When we do go back to country, for those of you who were listeners to WCAB for years, we were country music, and then Jim switched it over to the oldie station, and we're just going back to what we used to do. And you can also expect to hear more local interviews from people making the news in our area, local people in the station, including our local officials and others who work in our community. The station's mission was originally to serve the people of Rutherford County, and we're going to be returning to that focus. We want to entertain our listeners as well as inform them. And we were bought by Billy Buck Blevins of Statesville. He took over on October the 1st. Now, the station was bought by Fowler Media. They bought the station from Jim, and they took over on April the 1st. And as I said, currently we are under the ownership of Billy Buck Blevins from Statesville. He took over on October the 1st. Now, he is really into local radio. He believes in local radio, small town news. They have already moved our sister station in Marion, WBRM, to downtown in Marion, and those plans are underway for us to eventually move to downtown. Previously, the company's mission was to serve the public interest, gain public trust by informing the listeners on important local news, and we have proven that when we were first on the scene for the Trailborg explosion. To be an effective local radio station, there must be a local presence, he said, while some of the technical operations of the station will be centralized at the headquarters in Statesville. Of course, the local folks that you're used to hearing, sales and office staff, will stay here in Rutherford County. Now, we're looking forward to the change also, but it's going to take just a little bit more time. Well, police in Kentucky found a missing 16-year-old girl under a trap door in the bedroom of a 34-year-old man after the man's mother called authorities to report a domestic dispute between the two, that according to arrest reports. When deputies with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office arrived at the home on Christmas Day, Zachary Jones told him that the girl had fled, but his mother disputed that, and deputies began searching to check on her safety. She was found inside a bedroom in a cutout door in the floor covered by a rug, that according to the report. Now, deputies later determined that she had been reported missing from Fayetteville on December the 6th. The girl told deputies that Jones picked her up after making contact a few weeks earlier, that he originally told her he was 19. Now, he told her he was 19. When they met and she questioned why he looked older, he told her he was 25, but he found out after getting to his home and meeting to his family, she found out he was 34. That according to the reports. She said he threatened her and told people that she was 18, told her to tell people that she was 18. She told officers that he had a gun and had threatened to kill her several times, and that on that day they were found, they had used drugs, and he had choked and assaulted her, that according to the report. Jones originally was taken into custody because he tried to destroy drug paraphernalia that deputies found in the home after searching for the girl, that according to reports. Jones admitted using drugs with her and having an altercation, but he denied choking her, one report said. Marks were visible on her throat. Jones said the girl both said they had had sex on multiple occasions, and Jones admitted to luring her by using an electronic device and taking her from her grandmother's home in North Carolina. Now, the reports go on to say he was charged with multiple crimes, including third-degree rape, unlawful imprisonment, assault, strangulation, possession of a controlled substance, unlawful transaction with a minor. It wasn't clear whether Jones has an attorney. A phone number for his mother rang unanswered on Friday, but she told WRAL-TV that she thought the girl was an adult. She said she asked her how old she was. She said she was 19. I took that as being the truth, that according to his mother. She said, I believed my son because a lot of girls do look older than they really are. She also said that the girl did not appear to be held against her will. She said to me, she came willingly with him. I just felt like they'd probably been talking. I don't know how long he'd been texting her, but from what the cop said, she was unhappy here, and she felt like she didn't want to be here. Well, a U.S. Postal Service truck fatally struck a North Carolina retiree as the man crossed a post office parking lot. That just a few days before Christmas. The victim was picking up mail in Mars Hill, north of Asheville, on Wednesday afternoon after Christmas when he was hit as a truck backed into an alley leading to the rear of the post office, that according to the town's police chief. Police Chief Chad Wilson said the pedestrian was walking behind the delivery truck and the driver did not see him. The driver has been interviewed and was filled with remorse. The chief told WLOS the incident was an accident, but added that he would be consulting with the local prosecutor once an investigation concludes. The U.S. Postal Service is also investigating that, according to a spokesperson, William Boninger. We'll take a look at more news, but first we'll take a look at our local obituaries being brought to you by Crow's Mortuary. It's a family tradition, caring for your family at a time of sorrow and need. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, owned and operated by the Crow family, has been a part of our community for over 65 years. They've been recognized for the highest level of professional service. Crow's pinpoints every service detail to ensure your family has the best service possible. Any questions, call the staff at Crow's 286-2304. They'll be happy to speak with you about pre-funeral needs as well. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, 118 College Avenue, Rutherford, or visit them at www.crowmortuary.com. Robert Scott Nealon, 69, passed away on December the 31st. Friends are invited to the visitation. This will be tomorrow at Crow's Mortuary from 5 until 7. Funeral services will be held Thursday at Crow's Funeral Chapel. Burial will be at the Cane Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. Crow's Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Robert Scott Nealon. Hong Kasner, 74, of Forest City, passed away on Sunday at Colonial Manor. Born in Vietnam, survived by her sons, Edgar Kasner and John Kasner. Her grandchildren also survive. A memorial service for the family and friends will be held from 4:30 until 6. This will be tomorrow at Harrelson Funeral Home. Online guest registry available at www.harrelsonfuneralhome.com. Harrelson Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Hong Kasner, 74, of Forest City. Tommy Lee Riley, 45, of Forest City, passed away on Thursday at Atrium Health. There will be a gathering of friends at Harrelson Funeral Home. That's today from 5 until 7 o'clock. Harrelson Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Tommy Lee Riley, 45, of Forest City. Shirley Christine Moat Harden, 86, of Ellenboro, passed away December the 29th. Funeral services are at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Harmon Street Baptist Church. Burial will be at the Oak Grove United Methodist Church Cemetery, and the family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service at the church. Harrelson Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Shirley Christine Mode Harden. Barbara Luckadoo, 76, of Forest City, passed away on December the 29th at hospice. If that name rings a bell, well, Barbara, many years, worked as a waitress at Spindale Drug in the Fountain. Family and friends will gather to remember Barbara. This will be Friday at the Spindale United Methodist Church. Visitation is at 1 o'clock. The service will begin at 2. Burial will be at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. Crow's Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Barbara Strawn Luckadoo. The Reverend James Jim McCurry, age 90, of Rutherford, passed away on Friday, December 29th. A visitation will be held from 9:45 until 10:45. This will be on Saturday. The memorial service will be at 11 o'clock Saturday at the Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements for Reverend James Jim McCurry, age 90, of Rutherford. Complete obituaries can be heard at 11:30 this morning and then again at 5:08 this afternoon.
Good morning. I'm Pastor Lee Coyle. Welcome to Coffee for the Soul, a brief moment of devotion designed to jumpstart your service to Christ today. I don't know about you, but nothing gets me started in the morning like a fresh cup of coffee and a fresh challenge from God's Word. This morning we will continue thinking about what it means to be salt and light. When Jesus described that those who follow him are the salt of the earth and the light of the world, he could not have used a more dramatic metaphor. What does it mean for us today to be salt and light? It not only means we are important for the world, as we considered yesterday, but it also means we are different from the world. We are not better than the world. However, because of God's grace in our lives, we have a different role, a different purpose, a different set of standards, a different way of life, and a different destiny than those without him. Being salt and light is in part a matter of holiness. In 1 Peter 1:16, God says, "You shall be holy, for I am holy." To be holy is to be set apart like no other, to be different, to be uncommon. Followers of Christ are salt. People without Jesus are not. Followers of Christ are light. People without Jesus are not. We are to live in the world, but not to be of the world. We are to live in the world in such a way that we give them a taste of God's love and thus light their way to Christ. Unfortunately, however, if the world gets into us, our following of Christ is compromised, which causes us to lose some of our saltiness and our light to grow dim. Let me ask you a question. If a total stranger secretly followed you around for a week, observing where you went, what you did, how you treated others, and listened to your conversations, would they be any closer to Christ than they were before that week? If the answer is yes, so will you be. Now, that's Coffee for the Soul.
Robbins Painting Carpet is a friend of folks who do their own jobs around the house and friends of the professional. And they're the home of Benjamin Moore Premium Quality Paint. Benjamin Moore goes on easy the first time, every time, so save yourself some time. And Robbins also provides expert help and advice to make every project a success. Call on the team at Robbins Painting Carpet and Floor Covering today, 245-8801. That's 245-8801. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 206 Commercial Drive in Forest City. For complete and professional auto service, visit Tri-City Tire. They care about their customers, and it shows. They offer complete auto services in brakes, alignments, tune-ups, oil changes, inspections, also lift kits, and of course, complete tire service. Also tires for commercial, farm tractors, and ATVs. They also carry mowers and power equipment by Red Max. Tri-City Tire Service, 221 Daniel Road in Forest City, or call 828-287-8778. Tri-City Tire Service, your local tire and auto service center. Well, you know, as we were cleaning out cabinets and closets and drawers and everything, all these little nook and crannies that we have around here, we found a bunch of old Tar Heel calendars. Now, we've got one or two that's from 2012, 2013. We've got some from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. We also found some CDs. Now, this goes back to 2007. I remember this game because I ran the board that day. 2007, it was the East High School 2007 2A baseball championship game. We found a bunch of these on CD. Now, if you would like to have these, we're only going to hang on these for just a few more weeks, and they're going in the garbage can. So if you would like to have the Tar Heel calendar or calendars, or if you'd like to have the CDs of these ball games, maybe you played that year, or your child or grandchild played that year, and you'd like to have this, well, you're welcome to them. No charge whatsoever. We want to get rid of them. We want somebody to have them that would want them, rather than throw them in the garbage can. So if you would like those Tar Heel calendars, or if you would like the CDs of the East High School 2007 2A basketball championship game, all you have to do is just come by the station and pick them up. Well, with more than 2 months remain before the 2020 primary election on March the 5th, questions are already being raised surrounding the legitimacy of one of the candidates for the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners. Candidate filing for the election ended on Friday, December the 15th, and local election officials say the process went very smoothly. Now, some are suggesting that Republican Donnie Houck, who is challenging incumbent Republican Greg Loveless in the County Commissioner District 2, does not actually live in the district and may therefore not be qualified to run for office. Elections Director Don Loveless confirmed, as did Houck, that he switched his official residency to 138 Park Square in Forest City on the day he filed as a candidate. He previously listed official residence was on South Mountain Road in Boston. According to Loveless, he did change the residency status on the day he filed. This is perfectly legal. We reconfirmed with state authorities that is not unlawful. Loveless went on to say that according to state law, candidates for county commissioner are required to live in the district in which they are running for office at least 30 days prior to the primary election. Mr. Houck does meet that criteria, according to Loveless. On Thursday, Houck clarified that while he owns several homes and properties within Rutherford County, the primary residence for him and his wife is an apartment within the building, 138 Park Square. Houck said he has owned the building since 2018. Any official challenge as to the legitimacy of a candidate can only be filed by a resident of that district and must be submitted by the deadline, which is this Thursday, January the 4th. Now, while questions have been raised regarding House residency status, there have been no official challenges as of press time of this. However, an official challenge from a citizen residing in District 2 is expected. If there is an official challenge, there is a specific process outlined by the state through which election officials go through to investigate the challenge. The Delta Dental Foundation, DDF, is the arm of it's called Delta Dental of North Carolina. That makes it DDNC. They're seeking applications from community-based oral health nonprofit programs and organizations in North Carolina for its 2024 Smiles for Kids grants program. The DDF will direct funding to organizations across the state that focus on child's oral health, particularly among populations with little or no access to care. In 2023, the DDF granted $148,728 to 39 North Carolina nonprofits under the Smiles for Kids program, which benefited nearly 78,000 children. Tooth decay is the most common chronic childhood disease, and children in North Carolina are 3 times more likely to miss school due to oral health-related issues. That, according to Kurt Lang, Chief Executive Officer of Delta Dental of North Carolina. He said, "This year we continue our efforts to reach more counties and help even more children who are lacking in resources to receive better access to dental care and oral health education." Over the past 12 years, the foundation has received applications from and granted awards to organizations representing 52% of the counties in North Carolina. Lanny went on to say, "I would like to see the Smiles for Kids program grow to impact oral health initiatives in all 100 counties in the state." Now, under submission, the DDF will evaluate each application based on factors such as the program's focus on children, potential impact on the community, measurable results, and the level of community support it attracts. The DDF will accept applications through Sunday, January the 6th, which is next Sunday. For applications, grant deadlines, and more details, visit deltadentalnc.com/Smiles for Kids. The Dental Foundation is nonprofit, charitable organization established in 1980. Which serves the philanthropic arm of Delta Dental of Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and North Carolina. The DDF is dedicated to developing and enhancing partnerships and programs to improve oral health and overall health equality. And again, if you'd like more information, visit deltadental.foundation. Well, 4 people are facing charges after a child was found in a car along with fentanyl, methamphetamine, crack cocaine, and a concealed handgun. That, according to the Swain County Sheriff's Office. Deputies said they pulled over a car Saturday night on Highway 1974 West. During that traffic stop, deputies said they observed drug paraphernalia and seized approximately 50 grams of fentanyl, 2 grams of methamphetamine, 4 grams of crack cocaine, and a concealed handgun. They said that there also was a 15-year-old in the car. A North Carolina woman, Pamela Bradshaw of Clinton, rang in 2024 by winning $1 million and becoming the Powerball first millionaire of the year. Bradshaw's big win happened just after midnight when she won the Powerball First Millionaire of the Year drawing during the Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest 2024. The Powerball promotion involved the North Carolina Education Lottery and 22 other state lotteries. Her win became the second year in a row that a North Carolinian has won $1 million on New Year's Eve in the Powerball promotion. Bradshaw's good luck began with a second chance drawing held by the lottery. In that drawing, she won a VIP trip to New York City, became one of 5 Powerball players chosen nationally for a chance to win $1 million in the drawing. Her odds of winning were 1 in 5. Bradshaw said winning the trip provided her first opportunity to fly on a plane, visit New York City, see the Statue of Liberty. She said she cried on the plane ride and cried at the Statue of Liberty. She said it's just been so incredible. Her 4-day, 3-night trip for 2 included an exclusive New Year's Eve gala in Times Square. She made the trip with her daughter, Joanna Henson. And somebody did win that big Powerball drawing last night. That $600 and something million. Ticket wasn't mine. I didn't win again this year. Oh, well, that's all right. I'll try again. We've got sports coming up.
Sis Ford, located on Oak Street in Forest City, is now Legendary Ford. Still locally owned and still offering the same local hometown service as always. The new family at Legendary Ford is working hard to prove to you that they want your business. So stop by today and see the large selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks on the lot, and let the guys at Legendary Ford help you choose the perfect vehicle that best fits you and your family. Visit them at 565 Oak Street in Forest City or visit the website at www.legendaryford.com or call them at 245-1626.
NCN Sports, good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. We now know who will be in the college football championship game coming up in a week. Yesterday, Washington made a definitive statement in their game, as we hear from correspondent Dave Ferry.
Washington is going to the CFP title game after holding off Texas 37-31. Michael Penix Jr. was 29 of 38 for 430 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Huskies improved to 14-0 heading into the title game against Michigan next Monday.
It was just believing, Coach DeBoer, he always preached to us, we're built for this moment, and we believed it.
Dylan Johnson ran for 2 TDs, and Jalen Pohl and Jalen McMillan each had TD grabs. Texas had 1st and 10 at the Washington 12 with 15 seconds left, but failed to score. Quinn Ewers threw for 318 yards, but his last 3 passes went incomplete in the waning seconds. I'm Dave Ferry.
Michigan knocking off Alabama in overtime, as we hear from Mark Myers.
Michigan has earned a spot in the national title game by defeating Alabama 27-20 in an overtime thriller in the Rose Bowl. Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh soaked it all in.
Glorious. That was glorious. It was a tremendous football game.
J.J. McCarthy threw for 3 touchdowns, including a 4-yard scoring pass to Roman Wilson that tied the game with 1:34 remaining in the 4th quarter. Blake Corum scored on Michigan's first possession of overtime on a 17-yard run, and the defense sealed the win by stopping Bama at the 2-yard line.
Now to Phoenix and George Tanner.
Bo Nix threw for 363 yards and 5 touchdowns. 8th-ranked Oregon rolled over number 18 Liberty 45-6. Nix completed 28 of 35 passes in the game, 77.4% for the season.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
Getting older and wiser is a part of life. But like all things, aging has its challenges, and it's often hard to know where to turn for answers. Listen to the AARP Without Limits podcast to get the best information to navigate the challenges of aging in North Carolina. Learn how to live your best life after 50. You can find the latest episodes of AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Medicaid eligibility has expanded in North Carolina. Are you an hourly worker working in a restaurant or in construction? Are you working in a child care facility or providing home health care? Are you self-employed, or maybe you're a farmer or recently discharged veteran? Health care is now within your reach at medicaid.nc.gov. Keep yourself and your family healthy. Enroll now at medicaid.nc.gov. That's medicaid.nc.gov. This message brought to you by Care for Carolina.
The Denver Nuggets beat the shorthanded Charlotte Hornets last night, 111-93, sending the Hornets to their 11th straight loss. Coach Steve Clifford.
One thing that stood out to me being there was, I wrote down, it was the turnovers, though, that really got them going. Like I think we only had 6 turnovers at half, and we had 4, I want to say pretty quickly, that they made us pay on. And, with where we're at right now, with the guys we have available, we can't be turning the ball over.
Neither the NFL nor the Jacksonville Jaguars had any comment yesterday on Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper throwing the contents of a drink into the crowd near the end of the team's 26-0 shutout loss in Jacksonville on Sunday. The league said it is aware of the video showing Tepper's reaction. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
At Insurance Service Associates, we want to be your insurance agent. We try to make it easier for you. When you ask, we will shop your insurance with multiple companies. We don't charge extra fees for making a payment. You can come by our office, or with many of our companies, you can pay us over the phone. Many of our customers come through our drive-thru. We want to make it simple because life is already too complicated. Insurance Service Associates, 245 East Main Street, or you can call us at 245-5301.
There's a new business in Rutherford County called Southside Pizza, owned and operated by none other than the owner of Gregor's Original. So you know it's got to be delicious. They're located right across from Florence Baptist Church at 235 South Powell Street in Forest City, offering wings, pizza by the slice, a salad bar, grinders, pasta dishes, or specialty pizzas. Dine in or call in your orders, 828-305-7867. That's Southside Pizza on Powell Street in Forest City. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 until 8, Friday and Saturdays, 11 till 9, closed Sunday and Monday. Good morning. Your forecast for today is going to be sunny with highs around 50 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 25. Tomorrow, clouds move in, highs around 50, overnight lows around 30. And then for Thursday, got a chance of some showers, highs around 50, overnight lows around 35 degrees. Then sunshine's back on Friday, highs around 55, overnight lows around freezing. Saturday, chance of more rain, highs around 40, overnight lows around 30. Then sunny for Sunday, highs around 50. You're listening to 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Where it was 30 degrees, it's dropped back, it's 29. 29 degrees and beautiful sunny skies. Well, we told you last week of an 8-year-old child who was put on a plane going to the wrong town. Well, now it's been a 16-year-old. 16-year-old passenger scheduled to fly from Tampa to Cleveland on December the 22nd, but mistakenly boarded a different flight to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Former Frontier Director of Corporate Communications, Jennifer De La Cruz, said in a statement to CNN. Now, the Ohio and Puerto Rico flights departed from the same gate, with the flight to Puerto Rico taking off first, that according to De La Cruz. The mix-up comes after a similar recent incident involving an unaccompanied 6-year-old who got on the wrong Spirit Airlines flight and ended up in Orlando instead of Fort Myers, Florida. It was the first solo flight for the teenager, Logan said, who suffers from flight anxiety, that according to the teen's father, Ryan Lose. Now, the father said he and his current wife, Krista, talked to the teen through how to get to the gate. But when Logan got to the gate in Tampa at around 8 p.m., passengers were already boarding, that according to Luce. She said he went up there and asked the lady if the flight was boarding. They said yes, and they also checked his bag to make sure it fit. But Logan went on to say that they never scanned his ticket. Logan said if they just glanced at it and said, yes, you're on the right flight, and then he boarded. If they had scanned his boarding pass, they would have known that he was in the wrong place. CNN reached out to Frontier about Luce's assertion on Saturday night, but has not received a response. Luce said they realized something was amiss when Logan's mother got a call around 8:30 p.m. to let him know that her son had boarded, but they realized he got on the plane way too early. That's when she said her 9-year-old son looked up the flight status and realized that a flight to Puerto Rico had just taken off from the same gate at Logan's Ohio flight was taking off from. Luce told CNN they tried calling Logan to warn him he was on the wrong plane, but his phone went straight to voicemail. Luce said they contacted Frontier Airlines at around 8:40 p.m. to let him know what was happening and that his son was on the wrong flight. The father said around 10:15 Frontier called and informed him that Logan was indeed on the flight to Puerto Rico and they would let the pilot know to keep an eye out for him. De La Cruz said an airline statement was immediately flown back to Tampa on the same aircraft and accommodated on a flight to Cleveland the following day. Luce said Logan made it back to Tampa at around 3:30 a.m. and left on a flight to Cleveland at 7:45 a.m. Frontier said in a statement they do not have an, quote, unaccompanied minor program, unquote, to provide escorts to minors. However, they do allow children over the age of 15 to fly alone. While there are no Department of Transportation regulations around travel for unaccompanied minors, airlines have specific procedures to protect children during the travel that according to the U.S. Department of Transportation. However, most airlines will allow a child to fly alone on domestic flights at age 15 without any accompanied minor procedures, that according to the agency. Well, sadly, a Western North Carolina legal aid organization may soon make significant cuts to its domestic violence survivor programming after losing funding from several federal grants. Pisgah Legal Services provides free civil legal aid to low-income Western North Carolina residents. It consults with clients to fight evictions, arrange health insurance, and find protection from domestic violence. For the 2024 calendar year, Pisgah Legal faces a $1 million funding gap previously filled by the Federal Crime Victims Fund, Violence Against Women's Act, and American Rescue Plan. Pisgah Legal Executive Director Jim Barrett told the Asheville Citizens-Times on December the 27th. Now, a plurality of the funding from these programs flowed to the organization's domestic violence prevention services, Barrett said. To bridge this gap, Pisgah Legal and other organizations unsuccessfully lobbied Raleigh legislators. Now, these organizations are turning to counties and donors for help before turning to municipalities. A relatively small donation can pay for a few hours of legal work and really change people's lives, that according to Barrett. He said that ending domestic violence cycles can involve multiple steps, including filing restraining orders, fighting custody battles, and finding new housing. Pisgah Legal has already made some difficult financial decisions, with more looming. The legal aid service, which brought in $10.3 million in revenue in 2022, has been on a hiring freeze since August, Barrett said. It has open positions for one lawyer and at least 2 support staff that it cannot pay to fill. Barrett told the Asheville Citizens-Times that Pisgah Legal's board voted for a budget for next year, or actually this year, which does not include staff raises, even for the cost of living increases. The budget says he reduced 401k matching that the staff receives. Pisgah Legal will not implement those changes until the spring, Barrett said, giving the organization a few months to fill the funding gaps. Congress passed the Victims of Crime Act in 1984, which established the Crime Victims Fund. This provides funding for programs that offer support services for those affected by violent crimes. It's financed by fines and penalties paid by people convicted in federal cases. President Joe Biden signed a bipartisan bill in July 2021 to bolster the fund and allow states to waive requirements for victim cooperation with law enforcement to access funding. The bill is going to allow us to make sure that all the fines and penalties that are from federal cases go into the Crime Victims Fund, to rebuild this fund because it's badly needed, that according to Biden at the time. After the president signed the bill, the amount of funds available for organizations like Pisgah Legal increased by 29% to $2.6 billion for the 2022 fiscal year, that according to the Office for Victims of Crime, which helps administrate the program. Now, since then, the program has lost close to 54% of its available funding, leaving organizations like Pisgah Legal groveling for cash and needing to make difficult cuts. Pisgah Legal briefly used roughly $426,000 in ARPA funds to patch the shortfall, but that money, which became available in July 2022, that money is now gone. Barrett said that legal aid organizations in North Carolina collectively attempted to lobby Raleigh legislators, but additional state funding did not come. The funding request flows through the Justice and Safety Appropriations Committee, which shares the same name in each chamber. Senator Warren Daniel, who represents part of Buncombe, Burke, and McDowell counties and co-chairs that committee, did not respond to the Asheville Citizens-Times request. Barrett sent letters to 11 county managers earlier in December, including Buncombe's Averill Pinder, requesting the county contract Pisgah Legal for its services and appeal to state legislators to fund this work. Buncombe County spokesperson Cassie Day told the Asheville Citizens-Times in an email that the county contracts with Pisgah Legal to provide a wide range of legal services, including domestic violence, legal assistance. Pinder, who is on vacation, was not available to comment any longer. People can make donations to Pisgah Legal at pisgahlegal.org/give. Donations will be matched up to $70,000 through the end of the year. That's sad. They do step up to help a lot of people who can't afford an attorney, and now they can't afford to help as much as they would like to. If you would like to help Pisgah Legal Services, it's Pisgah Legal, PISGAH, legal.org/give. Coming up tonight, we've got Tar Heel basketball. It's the Tar Heels and Pittsburgh. Airtime will be 5:30 for that countdown to tip-off. 7:30 tip-off, and you can hear that game right here on WCAB. 21 minutes before 9 o'clock. 29 degrees. We'll have more news after this.
Sets Ford, located on Oak Street in Forest City, is now Legendary Ford. Still locally owned and still offering the same local hometown service as always. The new family at Legendary Ford is working hard to prove to you that they want your business. So stop by today and see the large selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks on the lot, and let the guys at Legendary Ford help you choose the perfect vehicle that best fits you and your family. Visit them at 565 Oak Street in Forest City or visit the website at www.legendaryford.com or call them at 245-1626.
There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted experience and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1, 287-7117. There's a new business in Rutherford County called Southside Pizza, owned and operated by none other than the owner of Gregor's Original. So you know it's got to be delicious. They're located right across from Florence Baptist Church at 235 South Powell Street in Forest City, offering wings, pizza by the slice, a salad bar, grinders, pasta dishes, or specialty pizzas. Dine in or call in your orders, 828-305-7867. That's Southside Pizza on Powell Street in Forest City. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 until 8, Friday and Saturdays, 11 till 9, closed Sunday and Monday. Well, 3 arrests have been made in connection to the law enforcement officer that was shot and killed on Saturday evening in Greensboro. Greensboro Police Department have identified the officer as Sergeant Philip Dale Nix, who served the city for 23 years. Sergeant Nix was described as a loving husband, father, son, and brother who had served many roles throughout his career. His most current role was as supervisor of the Family Victims Unit. He also served as a team leader for the peer support team for the past 12 years. Authorities say 3 suspects are currently in custody for the death of Sergeant Nix: Jameer Justice Foster, 18, Zaquir LaPierce Blackwell, 18, and John Walter Morrison, 28. Foster was charged with first-degree murder, larceny, conspiracy to commit larceny. Foster is currently in custody with no bond. Blackwell was charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Blackwell, currently in custody under a $500,000 bond. Morrison was charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder, larceny, conspiracy to commit larceny. Morrison is currently in custody with no bond. Additional charges may be forthcoming following the ongoing investigation. Now, police state that on Saturday evening, Sergeant Nix witnessed a crime happening at the Sheetz gas station on Sandy Ridge Road at around 4 p.m. and approached the suspects. As a result, he was shot. An off-duty law enforcement officer and paramedic were also on the scene and immediately provided aid as the suspects fled the scene. Sergeant Nix was transported to the hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. At a press conference on Saturday, Greensboro Police Chief Thompson said he was a loving husband, father, son, and brother with 23 years of service to the department and this community. Greensboro Police Department says a memorial has been set up in honor of Sergeant Nix. Anyone that wishes to pay their respects can stop by the police headquarters at 100 East Police Plaza, and we are continuing to follow this story. Well, on Saturday evening, many Western North Carolina residents looked at their phones to find a blue alert out of Greensboro. And for many who get those alerts, it was the first time seeing this alert. It's just like the Amber Alert. Your phone starts making that real loud screeching noise. The Blue Alert referenced a police officer in Greensboro who had been assaulted. But according to Asheville Police Chief Lieutenant Mike Clanahan, this kind of alert is much more extreme. In North Carolina, the way that it's run is that it has to either be a death or serious bodily injury, he explained to News 13 on Monday. However, the main reason for the alert is to keep area residents safe from dangerous suspects. He said they're willing to harm a law enforcement officer who is obviously armed. At the time, they're willing to harm just about anybody. And while Asheville Police Department does not recommend getting anywhere near the suspects, knowing what to keep an eye out for does help the investigation. Clanahan went on to say, my information from the one from a few days ago is that it actually assisted them in locating the vehicle just a short distance away, but outside of the original jurisdiction. And the family of an upstate deputy who was shot in the line of duty in November is celebrating another huge milestone in his recovery. The family of Corporal Lucas Watts shared an update that Watts spoke for the first time in 44 days. Corporal Watts was shot during a chase after Oconee County deputies attempted to stop a vehicle along Highway 11 near Mount Pleasant Road on November the 16th. Now, since then, Watts has been in the hospital recovering. An update on Watts' condition was provided by his family on his Caring Bridge website on December the 31st. To most, these are two simple words. To our family, these two words mean so much more. Yesterday, Lucas spoke for the first time in 44 days. Now, while Haley and a close friend of Lucas's were visiting with Lucas, they noticed he seemed cold as they turned his fan off for him. Shortly afterward, they both heard him say, "the fan." Because there was an element of surprise and honestly and disbelief, his friend asked him what he said, and he repeated again, "the fan." They asked him if he wanted the fan turned back on. He nodded his head up and down, so of course they turned the fan back on for him. The level of excitement that these two simple words have caused further shows not only how far Lucas has come since November the 16th, but also emphasizes how far he still has to go. Understanding Lucas's state of consciousness and alertness can be difficult. While these little steps of improvement make it seem like he's awake and fully alert, he really isn't yet. It's more of an in and out kind of thing. However, talking is definitely something to celebrate and another sign of him continuing to be more alert. The family continues to ask the community for prayers in his recovery, as well as the family traveling back and forth during this time. And as we close out 2023, we're so grateful to each of you who has taken the time to come alongside us through this journey, and we are forever grateful for your prayers, support, and encouragement. Our hashtag Lucas Strong Community is something special. Having you with us makes this journey easier to travel. A huge thank you and much love from all of us. Happy New Year from the family. Well, a North Carolina pastor was arrested after he allegedly attacked a McDonald's cook who works with his wife. The High Point Police Department says she called Dwayne Waden on Thursday, told him employees were disrespecting her while she was training to be a manager. Waden was not loving it, nor did he turn the other cheek. Police said he showed up at the restaurant, walked around the counter, put his hands around the neck of one of her co-workers. Then he started punching the victim in the face multiple times, pushing his head down toward one of the deep fryers. Apparently, other employees had to pull Waden off the 34-year-old victim, who had a family member drive him to the hospital. The police report said he suffered a large contusion on his forehead and right eye, as well as scratches on his neck. Authorities watched the restaurant's security video and arrested Waden, 57, on charges of assault and battery. He posted his $1,000 bond. Now, according to his social media, he's a truck driver as well as a pastor at Elevated Life International Ministries. Ironically, High Point Police will be holding a Coffee with a Cop event at the McDonald's location next week. Well, one person is dead after a shooting involving a campus police officer at Spartanburg Methodist College in South Carolina. That, according to authorities, the shooting happened early on Monday morning. The Spartanburg County coroner said one person is dead and the victim is not a police officer. Spartanburg Methodist College is closed for the winter break, and the college said no students are on campus. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is investigating, which is standard procedure with shootings involving officers. Well, let's see. I got about 7 more minutes. Let's see, what have I got to take 7 minutes? 7 minutes. That's too long. That'll take too much up. What about this one? Nah, I don't like that either. Okay. We talked about the laws, the new laws that went into effect yesterday. Since it is the new year, North Carolina lawmakers passed many new laws this year, and several did take effect on January the 1st, including changes for voters, teenagers learning to drive, people who access adult websites, and a whole lot more. The teen driver's license changes, that's Senate Bill 157, limited provisional license modification, starts yesterday. Teens who obtain a limited learner permit, which allows them to drive under the supervision of a parent or guardian, will have to keep it 9 months before seeking a limited provisional driver's license. The limited provisional license allows teens older than 16 to drive unsupervised between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. Previously, to obtain this license, teens had to wait 6 months. Age verification on pornographic sites. Going into effect is a section requiring age verification on pornographic websites. Websites will need to verify users in North Carolina need to make sure they're over the age of 18 through a commercially available database or another commercially reasonable method for age and identity verification. That according to the bill. The sites will not be allowed to keep users' identifying data. Users will be able to sue sites if information is retained in violation of the law. Parents or guardians whose minor was allowed to access a porn will also be available to sue. Another section of the bill requires UNC's System Board of Governors to establish a commission to study alternatives to the current accreditation process. An interim report on the commission's efforts to recruit people it describes as stakeholders to participate in the study is due today, with findings due to the legislature by September the 1st. The election law changes. This is important. Many provisions in this expansive new elections law will take place in the new year, barring any injunction from the courts. The law, which Republicans passed in a party line vote last year, includes a variety of what are called election integrity measures by the conservative groups pushing for them. Arguably, the most notable change is the elimination of the 3-day grace period for receiving absentee ballots. Now, all mail-in ballots will need to be received by 7:30 p.m. on Election Day for them to be counted. The new law also makes several changes to same-day registration. One more time, that new law makes several changes to same-day registration. Voters registering and voting on the same day during in-person early voting will need to show proof of residence and photo ID and cast a retrievable ballot. One notice will be sent to the voter's address. If it is returned as undeliverable, then the voter will not be registered and their ballot will be thrown out. Partisan poll observers will also be given more power under a new state law. The maximum of 3 observers from each party will be allowed at each voting place. These observers will be allowed to take notes, listen to conversations between voters and election workers, move around the voting enclosure, take photos before and after voting ends. They will not be allowed to take photos of the voters or see their ballots. At least 3 lawsuits are currently challenging this law, 2 of which are seeking a preliminary injunction to block parts of the new law from taking effect. On December the 28th, a federal judge heard oral arguments on the motion for an injunction. Another fight over voting in North Carolina, but could it be resolved out of court? Another major elections law, Senate Bill 749, that was set to take place yesterday, but that's been temporarily blocked by a Supreme Court. This law would drastically restructure state and local election boards, taking all appointment power away from the governor and giving it instead to legislative leaders. Currently, election boards have a 3-2 majority of the governor's party, meaning they currently all have a Democratic majority. Under the new law, these boards would have an equal number of Republicans and Democrats, raising concerns about potential deadlocks on major votes. A 3-judge panel granted plaintiffs a preliminary injunction last month to prevent the law from going into effect, though a higher court could resolve this. Abortion law changes. Department of Health and Human Services revision. This law makes various changes to health codes, with the part going into effect in the new year requiring practitioners to prescribe codeine cough syrup electronically. But another section of the bill that has already gone into effect caused a stir. In late June, just 1 week before the state's new 12-week abortion ban took effect, GOP lawmakers, through SB 190, eliminated language in the abortion bill. The deleted language had stated physicians providing drugs for medication abortions needed to verify that the gestational age for the developing fetus is no more than 70 days or 10 weeks. GOP lawmakers said this amendment was meant to clarify that medication abortions are lawful through 12 weeks. This was a point of contention in a lawsuit before a court allowed the 12-week ban to go in effect on July the 1st. Local government audits. The part of the law going into effect allows local government commission, which provides oversight to more than 1,100 local governments, to withhold a small portion of sales tax distributions from local governments that submit audits more than a year late. The amount withheld would be equivalent to 150% of the cost of the required audit. The bill was vetoed by Democratic Governor Roy Cooper, but this veto was overridden by the Republican-led legislature. The bill also had support from both Republican State Treasurer Dale Follo and Democratic State Auditor Beth Wood. Can I do this in 30 seconds? Okay, Stop Addiction Fraud Ethics Acts of 2023. The entire law goes into effect this month. It established new laws for advertising and marketing materials for substance use disorder treatment providers and facilities. This includes requiring people be provided with accurate information on the length of stay at facilities and a summary of any relationships between the treatment center and the publisher of the ads. News is next. See you tomorrow.
I'm Mike Rayleigh, and what was believed to be its first use, a blue alert, went out across North Carolina after a Greensboro police officer was shot and killed over the weekend. Eddie Caldwell, Executive Vice President and General Counsel for the North Carolina Sheriff's Association.
In this case, the folks that murdered the Greensboro officer, Officer Nix, and jumped on the interstate.